From the Opelco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OU Update with Ryan Aber. I'm Jenny Carlson. Ryan, injuries have become an ongoing story for this football season, continues to sort of hamper what they're doing. Talk about the impact of injuries and what you think has been the biggest mark for this team.
Well, I mean, you got to start with the defense, where you lose Corey Nelson and Jordan Phillips earlier in the season, and those things, the dominoes have sort of fallen over. And then last week against Baylor, you lose Jordan Evans. Aaron Colvin was hurt. So that defense, as good as it's been at times, you're throwing in guys who aren't familiar with those roles, guys who haven't played much. You're losing a lot of true freshmen over there, and that's really made an impact on this defensive unit.
Do you feel like some of those guys are going to be available, or I mean, it sounds like Jordan Evans is maybe the most serious of the more recent injuries?
Yeah, I think Jordan Evans and Aaron Colvin both have a chance to miss this weekend's game against Iowa State. It looks like Julian Wilson will get back in there and be able to practice here in the next day or two, and hopefully be able to play in that game. But if Jordan Evans isn't there, you've got to have a healthy Frank Shannon. Frank Shannon's been banged up a little bit. He's close to 100%, but if you lose him, you go way down on the list. And then with Aaron Colvin, Zach Sanchez has played pretty well at the other side of the corner, but you throw in a freshman, Stanvon Taylor, or Cortez Johnson, who's a transfer, and certainly that takes the depth out of that defense, which had been pretty strong for most of the year.
Well, the injuries have affected the Sooners, as everyone can see, and with losses, adjusting goals this season has become a question for Bob Stoops. He was actually asked about that at his press conference earlier this week.
I think it's always 1 week at a time. It truly is that way. Our players understand that, and it's just, when you're the one that has to play, it's just playing with pride for as much as anything is, each week, doing your very best to make the season as positive as it can be.
Well, Ryan, even though they've had all these injuries on defense, they've actually been okay on defense. I mean, does it sort of resonate what Bob Stoops is saying there, that guys have basically been playing pretty prideful football out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this defense has certainly lost a little bit, but Dominique Alexander has played really excellent football in the place of Corey Nelson. He had some growing pains in that Texas game, but has come back and played really well and done some more things. And then the secondary guys have really stepped up as they've been needed to. They've had Stanvon Taylor has played a little bit, Cortez Johnson, Cos Everett, who's not a young guy, but those guys that don't play a whole lot, they've been able to fill some roles. Now they've lost something on the defensive front, certainly with Jordan Phillips. Jordan Wade hasn't quite been that kind of guy, but certainly it helps for the future, as I know that they don't want to worry about the future. They're still trying to win these last 3 games, but it certainly bodes well that they've had guys step up and play well when they've had guys go down.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Sure, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.